possible for others. And which kind of investigation are you doing? Which kind of investigation are you doing in data visualization?
Data visualization for me is a very personal topic because I was always interested to work with qualitative data and working often with ethnographic methods. And I seen the kind of challenge that in academia or in academic journals, these very deep and very emotional or sensitive informations often have to be translated into a table, for example, or some kind of quantitative data, which is fine, of course, but I like to explore different ways to how to translate this data by into images, into visuals, by keeping also, for example, the emotional or a personal aspect of it, and kind of share this common knowledge or this common experience, these personal journeys, and also visualize them. I try to collect some examples by other people who already work in this way with data. And for example, there is this amazing data visualizer, Federica Fagapane, who quite often works with qualitative data and turn it into infographics or websites. For example, one of my favorite examples from her is to visualize roads taken by migrants from Africa to Europe and connect their drone maps with their narratives, with their excerpts from interviews where they're talking about their difficulties they encountered in the journey and how they experienced this approach and what hardships they had, how they moved from one place to the other and what led them to this decision. And when we look at these maps, we we look at them differently. When we're reading about their stories, we can follow nearly with our finger how they went, which roads they took, and where they ended up and where they encountered difficulties. And I think it's a deeper engagement with their personal challenges and stories. And I think it's sensitizing us as researchers as well, and also as readers of these journals or papers to understand this data. I think data visualization can help to understand a different form of engagement when we are looking at infographics or looking at different mappings, for example, how people using space or how people are engaged with a particular area. I think that helps a better understanding and that contributes to a common. But also with a common, this kind of knowledge is, if it's maybe more accessible, then it also helps others to address the problems of it and act upon. So I think it's making it more visible or unburden these issues, which otherwise I think often an academic journal maybe cannot do completely. So it can be, for me, data visualization can be used like as part of journals, but also this is something as a takeaway that you can use otherwise outside of it. And many of these good examples, very interestingly, not emerging from the academia, but they are emerging through bigger newspapers or, I don't know, uh, Italian newspapers use quite a lot of data visualizations, German newspaper or the Times, to kind of share kind of more challenging information or personal stories in this format. When the readers don't need to read through the whole page, of course they can do that as well, but there is also their own time and a visual way to explore a story through these images. Hmm. I think storytelling storytelling can has many functions, right? Because storytelling is a way to share our knowledge without judging or without patronizing or without um, directing people. Storytelling can be like how we encountered from my childhood, I don't know, the moral tales or different kind of examples of either lived experiences or common knowledge. And often these knowledges are translated into stories that is easier to say, easier to retell, easier to multiply and pass on between people.